when you are pitching, like how small is like you can't miss by a lot, can you? You have a zone obviously, but
Yeah.
does it ever get frustrating sometimes?
Sometimes. I mean, you can make a pitch that it's obviously it's hard to really gauge. Like you can't see exactly where the ball crosses every single time. But I mean, you can make some good pitches, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's a strike," and it's called a ball, and you're like, "Oh, well, all right, next pitch." Which in the past, even when I was younger, like I could not get over it. I could not get over it. Like if I missed by that much, or even if I threw it right down the middle and he called it a ball, I would lose my mind. Now it's it's kind of it's like it's good.
Yeah,
so what?
You got to roll with the punches now.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna throw it down the middle again. Like,
do you consider yourself like a strikeout pitcher? You pitch for soft contact. What's your style?
I would probably say a strikeout pitcher, just because I'm probably 75% fastball, and if I don't get a bunch of ground balls, not a big sinker guy. My fastball's got a little bit of carry to it, so if I'm in there, I'm trying to get a sky high fly ball or try to get somebody to swing under the fastball.
What are your pitches? What pitches do you throw?
So I throw fastball, obviously, cutter / slider. Kind of just depends on the day whether or not it's going to be a cutter or a slider. I've been working on throwing a splitter. My circle change, I just couldn't consistently command it how I wanted it to. So now I'm trying to, since I backspin the ball so well, it's tough for me to learn a splitter, but I'm just experimenting with different grips and like catch play and trying to figure out if I can get that ball to just kind of have that sharp fade down and away to a left-hander.
Yeah. Do you constantly like work on your pitches and have them get better and better each time?
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just a grip thing too. I was reading an article the other day, and it was like the more pressure points that you have on a ball, obviously the more it's going to move. And so I just try to think about like whether I'm just playing catch, if I'm trying to work on that splitter or work on my cutter, all it is just pressure points on the ball. So whether or not it's, I'm holding the ball on the side and putting pressure on my middle finger to get that cut action, or if I'm throwing a splitter and I'm putting all the pressure here on this inside of my pointer finger and the inside of my thumb to try and get that ball to have that fade down. So that's probably what I do most of the time.
So it's more about like where you grip it rather than anything else.
Yeah, I think an arm slot has a lot to do with it too. If you got low 3/4 arm slot, which I'm pretty much just straight over the top, and I also throw like a catcher too. So I haven't obviously hit against a guy who throws like that, but I would imagine as a hitter that's probably not very easy to pick up because the ball stays so tight to my body. But yeah, arm slot, grips have a lot to do with how your pitches move and how effective they are.
Yeah, so there's like an exact science to pitching almost. It's really hard, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I wouldn't say it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but if executing pitches is tough. You gotta have a mind, this pitch mindset to execute a certain pitch.
Yeah.
So. And
as you spoke about earlier, I know you said you don't necessarily worry about missing your spots anymore, but when you miss your spots, like you don't have a big zone to pitch to, so it's like everything has to go right for that pitch to be successful.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can have have one thing that's just not right, like the smallest little thing can set off a pitch, whether it's like you got a guy 0-2 and you're trying to go fastball up and you try to throw it as hard as you can, you end up throwing it right down the middle. Thankfully, guys who've got carry on their fastball more times likely than not get away with that, but it's risky, definitely risky.